Hey guys, what's going on? We got another Enhancement Shaman 3v3 video. This time we are with Shook and Plum. He's playing Unholy DK, Shook is playing as Holy Paladin, and I am on the Enhanced Shaman. Um, like last week we did one on solo shuffle and it kind of felt weird, but at the same time it didn't feel too bad. And this session actually felt pretty good. I don't know if it was because Plum was on a DK, which I believe is very strong right now, especially Unholy. I think Frost is too. But I felt somewhat balanced in a sense. It didn't feel too bad being Enhancement Shaman, so just a heads up. Enhanced does feel better in PvP than it does in PvE, so I never thought I'd say that, but you know, it is what it's come to this so far. But anyways, there is still the bug with Elemental Blast only having one charge, so keep that in mind. But anyways, we have a we're fighting Elemental, Ret Pally, Holy Paladin. And for whatever reason, we actually fought quite a lot of Ret Elemental. As to why, I'm not quite sure, but you know what? We'll take what we can get. But anyways, main focus is going to be the Ellie Shaman. Reason being is we want to shut down as much possible damage, as much damage as possible. Even though majority of it is instant cast from him, there isn't much we can do. But the Ret Paladin's going to be on top of him, so we're just cleaving them both down like no issues, right? So getting free damage on the Ret Pally is nice, and then just pushing a lot more damage into the Elemental Shaman is just better because he doesn't have as much defensives. But the Ret Pally does bring a lot of support for him. As you can see, I've gotten a couple hexes off now. I believe they've been getting dispelled by the shaman, but I think that last one he ended up having to trinket. Still having issues getting the totems out, but you know. But you can probably see I am actually running cap totem now, and that is because of the class changes. Reason being is you just have a bit of extra points. So, but anyways, the Ellie Shaman went down there. I didn't kill him, but I think Plum did. But anyways, back to the cap totem thing. You can drop it and use your totemic projection to bring it back and get a decent stun. You'll see me do that a couple times, but not very often because I haven't gotten used to playing with it. But you can see here, we have another Ret Ellie coming at us, this time with a Resto Druid. I believe Resto Druids are supposed to be pretty darn strong right now, so it's kind of insane to see them. I know a few of them I've fought have been quite powerful, but you can see here the Ret Pally uses both Bubble and his spell warding right off the start. That's kind of okay against the Unholy DK, I guess, but at the same time, it's probably not the best idea, just because now they have absolutely nothing to protect them. So what we're going to do is we're going to chase down this Ellie Shaman as much as possible, and Plum's just going to cleave them both down. I'm going to kind of do the same. I should be switching to the Ret, like you can see here, I'm targeting him right now. I want to make sure I get my Flashing Flames on him. That way Flame Shock does even more damage to put pressure on this Druid a bit more. Also, another thing to remember is you just saw me drop Wind Rush Totem. Wind Rush Totem got another node point where it clears all snaring effects. Now, it doesn't bring you out of roots, but it does remove snares. So it is very helpful, especially with chasing down and stuff like that. So make sure that is... in my opinion, that's kind of a key thing. So here I start putting pressure on the Druid. Now, he gets blinded, but then he goes right into Trank, so it's like, okay. And then the Ret Pally makes a big mistake and starts chasing Shook around a corner. The reason why this was a big mistake is because the Druid didn't have quite sight on him. So then he keeps going. He gets hodged by Shook. Druid's on the other side of the pillar. He can't do anything. And the Ret Pally just goes down. So that was a positioning error on the Ret Paladin. I think I don't think they were kind of on the same page. But on to the next one. We got Balance Assassination here. Here I just tried to get them out of stealth. For whatever reason, the Cap Totem didn't stun the Boomkin there, which was quite interesting in my opinion. I'm not sure if that was because of a stealth effect or what, but anyways, we get them all grouped up here. Resto Druid pops Tranquility right away. we just start pumping into the boomkin as much as possible, right? There's all their defensives. There's Cloak from the Assassination Rogue, so I kind of switched to him a little bit, getting a little bit of damage while kind of walking towards the others, making sure that I'm not losing out on damage time. There I get Vanish, I get Cheat Death from the Rogue. Plum is on the boomkin. We're pushing both of them at the same time. The rest of Druid starts pushing off somewhere else, but is unable to keep the balanced Druid up. And I'm assuming that's because we just put way too much pressure on them, or, you know, he's not as experienced. The reason why I say that is because Plum hasn't actually done any arena 3v3 on his DK this season, so our MMR is only like, I think it's like 1800, maybe it's 2k, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's pre-patch, so obviously people are still learning all of their talents and stuff like that. But yeah, here we have another Ret Ellie. I believe this is the same group as before. But anyways, we want to go after the Ellie Shaman as much as possible. And, you know, shut down his damage and cleave as much as possible. There was a rep. I can't believe I missed that. I don't know why I was so slow on the reaction to stopping that, but here I go for the Hex, get the Hex off. He doesn't realize his teammate has been hexed, so we get quite a lot of damage. He finally gets it off of him, but we end up pulling a lot of cooldowns from them, I believe. I think we got wings, and I think it was probably their bell thing. I don't know, whatever holy shocks a million times. But anyways, Plum grips in the healer. We get them all grouped up. We get bubble from the healer. Unfortunately, we miss a kick on the shaman, giving him precog, but not too big of a deal because he doesn't really cast. The only thing he goes for is hexes. But here, he grips in the holy pally again. We get a triple blind. Great CC right there. Still pushing the Ellie shaman. So our main priority here is just beating everything up. It's basically like playing turbo cleave. Just do as much damage, but the DK just brings a lot more chase potential. I guess not really chase potential, but control, where he just grips people in and we can get a lot of damage. Here the shaman gets spell warded, and then so I just run away. There's no point in being in sight of the Ellie shaman for me because I can't quite get a lot of damage out on him, but at the same time I can still heal myself and stuff, so I might as well get out of sight and save Shook some mana and defensives and stuff like that. But here the pally pushes out just a little bit. There's a lay on hand, so that means he has no way of defending himself from with bop or anything. So there's sacrifice. We just start pumping the damage. Like, so much damage is going into this Ellie shaman. The surprise he's still alive. There's his wall, but unfortunately he goes down. But yeah, this comp actually feels pretty good. If this is how the game is gonna feel in beta, which I'm not sure if it will, to be honest, but hopefully it does feel pretty good. We might try and play this comp. It does feel pretty good, especially with Shaman's new defensives. I do feel a lot more tanky. But anyways, we are against Havoc Destruction with a Mistweaver. Now, you'll see a cap totem that I use here. But anyways, you see the Observer, I took it out because that does a lot of damage to both of us because we're constantly casting random spells. There, the Mistweaver, he starts casting, so I go ahead and interrupt. He pushes away, so I go for a Hex. Here, his Adaption Trinket procs, but he also procs Revival at the same time, giving us a good defensive that we don't have to worry about anymore because Revival is a big part of defending against us. So every time this Warlock ports, so I go ahead and knock the monk, but I miss my root, my cap, so I just drop it right on top of him. Big stun. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get too much. I didn't realize that Plum was on the Demon Hunter and he was taking him out, so I was still on the Affliction World or Destro Lock, but worked out either way. But yeah, you can see moving Cap Totem and Root Totem is very huge, so keep that in mind. You can also put it behind a pillar where it's safe and won't get killed, and then just bring it in when just before the timer runs out. But you have to get comfortable with using that. But anyways, here we're fighting Balance Unholy. This is the last match of the video. Very interesting match. They decided to chase down Shook as much as possible, which is really weird to me. I felt like he has a lot of escape, and they're just making their resto druid work twice as hard trying to follow them. And they're all grouped up, which makes it a lot easier for us. Here I got a double stun using cap totem. Very helpful there, allowing Shook to kind of get away. This is where I get haymakered into a cyclone, so I'm like, okay, screw that. I'm trinketing, and we just start funneling even more damage. Resto Druid. I thought I timed that correctly to get him right as he came out of tree form, but unfortunately I was like 0.5 seconds off. It was very unfortunate. But here they're still pushing. They're going in for it. And Shook still has everything. I spot him with a healing surge just to, help him out. Might as well. I have these healing surges prepped. Go ahead and lasso the DK. But he goes ahead and trinkets, which is huge for us. And here they push behind the pillar. Can't see their druid. So I knock him even further behind the pillar. Now he's just panicking. And here I go for the hex. Get the full hex. They have no dispel. We start pushing a lot of damage. Plum gets a nice blind. Unfortunately, my hailstorm breaks the blind, which is kind of annoying. But it is what it is. And here we start switching to the boomkin once again. Just getting some damage because full hots are on the unholy DK. We just start getting a whole lot of damage on this boomkin, and he falls over. He didn't switch to bear in time. But yeah, guys, that is it for this video. Enhance is feeling pretty good in PvP. I would say it's feeling a lot better than PvE, so keep that in mind. But yeah, don't give up on Enhance. It is looking good for the beta, aside from what just happened on the patch notes, which we'll get into later. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Let us!